It's Madden NFL 22, where division rivals will clash in the AFC West. It's the Raiders and the Chargers, coming up next.
Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Derek Carr of the Raiders, Justin Herbert of the Chargers.
And I think that each quarterback wants to play this game with a faster tempo. They want to get the plays in quickly, get in and out of the huddle quickly, take just a few seconds at the line of scrimmage and survey the defense, and then attack. And I think that we'll see both offenses try to do that in this one.
To get this one started, and we are underway in Southern California. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when their body's on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
on second down. That'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Now he'll escape to his left. And the defense loses it. It's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Working with a 2nd and 4. On the give, this is Eckler, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Herbert. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Herbert now keeps himself upright. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Corey Littleton came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
To try again after the sack.
Herbert.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Hopkins' kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal for 3. Hopkins now to kick it off. On the return, Tyron Johnson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Carr. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. 33 yards. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. following the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd down and 3. Here's Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 45-yard line.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. To the air again, Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. On the option, here's Eckler. Well, he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And this is caught by Williams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against him a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Finding Williams once more, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now second and inches. Here's Herbert. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Kelly to try to punch it in. And he will get in across the track for a Chargers touchdown. Joshua Kelly punching it in from a yard away. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead at 10-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Johnson now to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Lets this go for Renfro downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Here's second and 10. Carr going to throw. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Carr. It's a screen to Richard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Carr again. And that's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's Carr. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done even.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Johnson now returning. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
And Carter's throw complete here to Waller.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Carr gives to Richard. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Carr now to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a 3rd and long. From the gun, Carr lets this go for Renfro downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play there for the Raiders.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Carr. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. They'll find his tight end, that's Waller. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the 2nd half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. Here's the all-pro returner from 2018, Andre Roberts. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert, he's going to air one out. He rifles one, it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. But certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. To throw, it's Carr. They'll find his running back here, Richard. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He gets away from one. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Carr now on first down. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll make this a second down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs. Hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
From the 17, Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Andre Roberts now to return it. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. LA set to take over again on offense. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
The design that we're seeing right there, this is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. It's Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
42 is the mic, 42 is the mic.
From the 50, here's Herbert. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Ty Long now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Yeah, yikes. Terrible kick, headed straight for the sidelines.
At their own 37-yard line.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Herbert and the Chargers trailing 17-10, 2:25 remaining. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Herbert on 1st down now. And to the right side here, it's Allen. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Herbert. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Herbert. He's got Eckler, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Herbert going to throw. It's complete to Cook. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Herbert to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler, 29 yards. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The score, all even to this point as the kick's away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Here's Carr. gets this to Waller. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up second and goal. 34-yard line.
The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Carr. He'll find Richard here underneath. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Carr to throw. He's going to air one out. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing his Carr. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And this defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard. Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Edwards.
A gain of 9 yards.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. As this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And off the crossbar and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Roberts on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. LA readies for its next possession. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. On first down, Justin Herbert. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Herbert. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And this is Cook with a grab. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
On is the punter long here as he sends this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. First throw of overtime for Carr. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is in. Good play.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And they'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Throwing now is Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. 42-yard line here, brought down there. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's A.J. Cole now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, it's Herbert. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. A good hands there defensively, and second down. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Solomon Thomas, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now for picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He was brought down by Trayvon Mullen.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Herbert. That's complete. It's Cook. Room here to run. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 31. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. It's Eckler again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. And now Herbert a little unsure of things, so he's going to go ahead and call a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. On the ground with a tight end. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. This to win it in overtime. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a real calculated drive to use a majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.